Welcome to the Custom Culture Blast-Off podcast, where we dive into the world of custom art, cars, bikes, and the unique vibe of the Custom Culture Blast-Off Festival.
Right, how are we doing, guys? And got the clapping. And I don't even plan this stuff; it just happens. It's just organic.
Just happens.
You know what I mean? Just rolls.
It
on.
just works, doesn't
it? So we're having a bit of a chilled one today.
Yeah.
It's a nice sunny Sunday afternoon. And yeah, welcome back to another KKBO episode. I think it's episode 8.
Episode 8.
Man.
So yeah, it's been.
Yeah, well,
flying.
you sold out on us, didn't you? Went and did one on your own.
Yeah, well, it was like I did like a John Lennon solo project without you. But realised I missed you guys. So we're just chilling, and what you guys been up to? You been up to much recently? I mean, I know you've got your shed on the go, don't you?
Got the shed on the go, hopefully soon. Base should be built tomorrow, all being well.
How big is it again?
8 by 10.
Oh, so it's a decent size.
8 by 10. One of them metal galvanised ones. People online just say just insulate them. You know, obviously because it being metal condensation.
At least the roof, to start with.
Yeah, well, you can get the plasterboard with the membrane on the back, £10 a sheet, 8 by 6 is it? 8 by 4, 8 by 6 or whatever the standard size sheets are, but £10 a sheet. So
that's good as well. I guess you're not taking up a load of room.
No, obviously that's the whole point, isn't it? To keep it, I've got to keep it. Try not to waste space.
You know what do work? Those like little dehumidifiers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're always good to have. Like, it just helps a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was killing the truck on the roof and stuff, is like the condensation.
Oh, yeah, you do have to. It's, I've just done soundings, well, it's kind of sound and heat insulation in the back of the caddy, because I thought, while I've ripped out all the terrible carpet work, I may as well try and make it better.
Yeah. So, what I was going to ask you about that is, like, did you put fur in the back?
No.
What was that?
Basically, I'd ripped out, it had like anthracite carpet and I didn't like the colour of it, and it was just one of those where it didn't quite meet the floor and everything was just
badly trimmed,
a bit bad. And I got to the point where I thought, you know what, it's all coming out, and it was kind of what was left on there after I ripped all the carpet out. So I just went in there, pulled one side of one edge of the carpet, and just went for it, basically ran in the opposite direction and ripped it all out. And I was going to clean it all off, and then someone said to me, well, it's kind of extra insulation, so as long as everything sticks to it, it's not the end of the world. So I just went straight over it, basically.
Right. Yeah. That left a mess, though, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you'd actually done that on purpose.
Yeah, oh god, it looked terrible.
Uniform as well,
like a teenager's chin, didn't it? It was awful.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad. You know what I mean? But I thought I would have supported you if it was fair and you were like, I've done this. I would have said, that's it.
I was thinking about going that way. I was looking like brown shag pile rugs and thinking about going full 70s. And I thought, you know what? If I chuck like a gearbox in the back of it, that's going to smell really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's getting laminate in the back.
And it's hard, like finding like you can't buy it in rolls, so you'd be buying like material and having to like do it yourself. Whereas like, because I was looking at, because it's a 60s truck, I was thinking like shag pile.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like you can't like buy it in a roll, when you buy an actual fucking carpet at that point, aren't you?
Yeah, you basically you'd end up buying a rug and they're surprisingly expensive.
Yeah, rugs. Have you recently seen a video? A woman did. You remember the old car mat carpets you had in your bedroom as a kid?
Oh yeah.
A woman recently just done a car mat. Exactly.
Oh yeah. See, a lot of people do
fuck.
it. We have one in the camper because we've got the awning. You think, what you want to wipe your feet before you get in the actual van. It's good for putting your shoes on. So we've got a couple of them from IKEA. Yeah,
I think it's well cool. Like, and literally all she did is cut it all out, trace the old ones, and then went round it with a lighter, just to singe the edges so it doesn't.
Yeah, the plastic-based stuff you can, because I had butcher's grass in the cube, and I did exactly the same thing. Just traced around the existing car mats and used that plastic butcher's grass.
Yeah,
mate, the caddy's looking really good.
Oh, cheers!
The caddy's really good.
And like, you can see why you like the brown is such a good background for the colours you've chosen. Obviously, I know it didn't happen by accident, but like it does like just pop, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
That's the idea.
It's such a good canvas for it. You know what I mean? It's such a good canvas.
There's so much space. Yeah. The idea is to absolutely cover it in different styles, so it's a billboard as well as a shop truck, a shop van. Because there's Ed Roth used to have a Honda Civic. And you might have seen, it's like, one of the early kind of, I think it's 70s Honda Civics, and it was covered in loads of different styles of lettering. So when he drove it round, it was almost like, this is what I can do.
And
that's the idea behind that. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I mean, what surprised me was how fast you were like banging it out. Because it's like one day there was nothing, and the next day you've done the entire, like, I thought, he's done a side, and then I was like, shit, he's done both sides. You know what I mean? I was like, God damn, like, you must have just gone for it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's that whole thing of kind of getting fixated on something and then getting home from work.
Was that a home from work job?
Yeah, home from work and basically stop when it gets dark. And it's not that I would not recommend anyone to work like that because it's not good for you. It's like running on 5 hours sleep a night and Sean said, you should probably stop and have something to eat. Oh, I've just got to get this thing done. And it's like this morning, I did an hour and a half on it before Josh picked me up just because it's out there kind of taunting me and I need to get it done.
Yeah. I was not planning on taking the coolant hoses off today.
Right.
It's only because you were like, we're coming at 1 now.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just undo this Jubilee clip and then see. And then water started pissing out. I was like, well, fucking doing it now.
Yeah. We're going on about lettering, actually. Me and Jake had an idea for you. So Jake wants to get tattooed.
All right.
And I thought, well, how cool would it be to get... Well, we're on about doing the tattoo for you, weren't we? We thought how cool it would be to have you Sharpie pen it on his arm.
Yeah, I could do that.
And then I tattoo it.
Yeah.
You said arse.
No, you can't say that. It's PG.
Oh, arm.
I'm not tattooing your ass. I'm not tattooing your ass.
I'm just imagining the video in the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. It's me and Josh and Jake's ass.
I'll put a little moustache and some googly eyes on.
Oh, fucking hell. But I thought it'd be cool, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you get the best of... I think doing font when it's done freehand on a tattoo is always better. I'm not the greatest at freehanding font, to be fair.
No, we'll definitely do that. Yeah,
cool idea.
If we could set it up, we could actually do like video it.
That would video it. Yeah, could even
see Jake crying like a little girl.
Yeah, but it doesn't even hurt.
Yeah.
what would be really good is if we could get hold of some.
Josh is fucking digging it in. Like, make you squeal like a pig.
If we could get hold of some wireless mics.
Yeah.
All three of us, so whilst you're drawing, I'm sat there, and we could actually almost do like a podcast out of it.
Yeah, we could even do the podcast while you do it.
Yeah. We'd get some mics that we clip on shirts.
Yeah. I can just sit like this. I mean, it won't even hurt.
Dish.
This is the tenderizer. This is what I use first to get you nice and tendered up, right?
Yeah, just prepping the skin. Sandpaper.
It's always funny because Grot's always like, after I get a tattoo or something, he's like, all right, you know what you're doing looking after me, don't you? I was like, yeah, get like a fucking cheese grater and do that a few times in it. And then he was like, yeah, just piss on it. Fucking, rub a bit of shit on it, you'll be fine. Like, that's how you...
Fucking hell.
To be honest with you, everyone used to go nuts on the tattoo goo, didn't they?
Yeah.
And like, no one even really uses tattoo goo anymore.
No, there's a lot.
I think everyone's different, aren't they? 'Cause I know I used to try and wet heal them, but it seems like more trouble than it's worth because every time you uncover them, like all your plasma and everything leaks out, and it's disgusting, and it's leaking out the sides and going.
I never thought of leaking plasma.
Yeah.
I never really said that out loud before.
No, it's disgusting.
It's bad, isn't it?
But basically, I take the cling film off when I get home and let it dry out, and then just be careful about keeping it clean, and basically let it dry, and then just moisturise it. And I just use, what do I use? I think cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter, yeah.
Because it seems to work for me. Right. The problem is I used to use Sudocreme. But
you used to use Sudocreme?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I found that it was kind of too greasy, and I'd end up with it didn't seem to help. But cocoa butter kind of soaks in real nice and seems to keep it moisturised.
Yeah, I used to use Bepanthen.
I was going to say, I always use Bepanthen.
They've changed something.
Oh yeah, I've used that as well. Yeah.
Did they actually change?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no, they did. Because what they did is they bought out a tattoo Bepanthen. Like it's same tube. So whereas it has the little symbol of like
is there an actual tattoo?
Yes. So it actually has instead of having the little logo like the child, it has like a tribal logo. But the tube effectively is the same colour.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It just has a tribal logo and it says on it. So I think when they did that, they changed something in the normal stuff, and a lot of people started having problems with it. So at Nordic Ink, like Nathan's, there's a local lady that does, she's all registered and licensed to do aftercare balms, and Nathan sells a lot of that stuff.
Right.
And it fundamentally raw ingredients, shea butter, beeswax. Beeswax is by far one of the best antiseptics.
Oh right.
Like natural antiseptics. And yeah, a lot of people using cocoa butter at the very least. You go and buy it; it's cheap and cheerful, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, well that's it. Yeah, and I think it's whatever works for you. Because I know my tattooist said, "Oh well, keep doing what you're doing because they seem to heal well." But then his
that's what I say to people.
Have you ever let a tattoo dry out? Have you ever had one go bad?
I've never had one go bad.
That one there, that lightning bolt. I'd kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then it went dry and it fucking killed.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't nice when they go like that. And once they're at a certain point, once they're too far gone, they're too far gone. Or I had my arm done and I'd gone on my bike and the air must have like dried it out.
Yeah.
And it had gone like quite scabby and shit. You know what I mean? They are quite.
Yeah, see, I think it's become a lot of people like Matt was saying, like some people dry heal, and it become a big thing over the last couple of years where artists literally So my brother, he's got a whole right arm Japanese sleeve, and he changed artists through the process. I couldn't get hold of his artist, and this other guy recommended. He said, "Oh no, let it dry heal," and he video called me one day. He's like, "Josh, he said, this is normal," and it looked horrible. And he said, "What?" I said, "Well, is it hot?" He says, "No, it's not hot." He said, "But it's really painful."
Has it scabbed then? It got to
so
that point?
They literally want them to. They're telling them to like let the dry out completely, and it's like the way I
catch a scab, like
you knock the ink out. Yeah. I've always said to people, like same like you said, if people have got loads of tattoos and they go, "Well, what would you recommend?" I said, I look at what they've got on their body, and I'm like, "Well, that looks fine. So just do whatever you do there."
Yeah.
And they'd ask me, "Well, what do you recommend?" I said, "No." I said, "At the end of the day, you've got loads of tattoos. If that's worked for you, whatever you've done, just don't change it."
Yeah.
I personally don't want to let them dry out.
No. I mean, I think the way I do it is I always keep them moisturised.
Yeah.
But the wet healing for me it's like this second skin
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Have you tried it?
I haven't. No. I'm not entirely sure I like the idea of it. Yeah. Because it seals it all in.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I've got a friend that I'd done a load. He was one of the guinea pigs when I first started learning. And he's diabetic as well, so I made sure before I ever touched his skin was to go to the doctors, get all the okay of like what we're to expect. People with diabetes, they take double the time to heal. So
Right.
whilst they're healing, they almost got like a white shelly colour. It's quite daunting at first. So anyway, so I did a portrait of Frankenstein's monster on him, and I actually got to put some of that second skin on. What's really cool with the second skin is when you peel it off, it's got a perfect image of the tattoo in it.
Oh right.
Yeah, so he kept it. It looks a bit creepy. It's kind of like, keeping
like
snake skin.
Yeah.
You can still see the ghosted pattern in it. And he loves it. He said, like, because originally that second skin was developed for burn patients.
Yeah,
So it's got microporous holes in it that allows the skin to breathe but doesn't let things in.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, isn't it? And what do you do? Like, kind of spray it on?
No. You literally almost like, so it comes in like a wrap, almost like vinyl wrap. So you peel the backing off it, place it on, and then obviously you've got like so it's a 3-part. So you peel the white back off, like you would with vinyl wrap.
Yeah.
Place it on, and then you peel like the harder plastic off the top, and it literally just leaves a microscopic film on it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a job like if you're a brickie or you
Yeah.
work outdoors, or you know what I mean, there's a lot of chance you're gonna get shit in it.
Oh yeah.
Perfect for that,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because the whole cling film thing's a pain in the arse. Cling film always moves around as well.
Yeah.
When you're working and shit, it ends up like getting all bunched up. And
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck this, take it off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
No, it is, and obviously you are at the mercy of. You're at the mercy of the customer. We spoke about this before on podcasts with Logan, and the thing is, like, you can do a great tattoo, tell the customer the fundamentals of looking after it, and they go and jump in a swimming pool. It's like artists over in like the Canary Islands and that, they get such a bad rap. Oh, these dodgy tattooists abroad. It's like, no, what you're not telling your friends is that you went and got tattooed, then went and laid on the beach hours after, then went and jumped into a chlorine swimming pool.
You burn it out.
You've completely ruined the tattoo within a 24-hour period, and then you go and chatting shit on the eyes.
Yeah, you've already got sunburn, and then you get a bit more sunburn on top, and then jump into
the only thing the
chlorinated
artists
water.
ever do wrong is taking money off someone effectively when they're not in the right frame of mind, i.e. drunk or whatever else they're up to,
Yeah.
That's the only thing they're doing wrong. But obviously they got to make a living, and they're €80 a pop, like for a tattoo that's like 10 centimeters. Like it's like €80 a go.
Jesus.
Oh, they're printing money. Work over 24 hours. They're tattooing till you see them on Facebook and Instagram, don't you?
Yeah.
They're friends in tattoo studios, and
I mean, you'd never get any of our artists like tattooing someone that's pissed. And obviously, you're at an event that sells alcohol. But still, like, if someone came in and to be honest with you, I think if anyone smoked like alcohol in general, they'd get turned away.
Yeah. You've got a duty of care, haven't you? Because at the end of the day, you're scarring someone's skin permanently, so you can't. They have to be sure, and also with the blood thinning and stuff like that. It's just it's a recipe for disaster.
I had my
thought.
leg tattooed when I was drunk, and it
bleeds out.
blood,
Yeah.
pierced blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it hurt as well. I've spoken about this before, but leg tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best thing is to come as stuffed as it is. It's kind of like prepared, like, you know, well slept, well hydrated.
Have a bit of food.
Have a
Yeah,
bit
bring
of
food
food.
with you, bring drink with you, and like basically because it takes it out of you. It's all very well saying, "Oh, it's just a tattoo." Oh, I'm dead hard. It's traumatizing your body.
Yeah.
You need to be your blood sugar needs to be right, and all this kind of thing. Just look after yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, that's something that you learn as you go, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you know, first time I ever got tattooed, it was like, holy shit, this hurts. Like,
Yeah.
Because it's like I wasn't expecting.
Yeah,
it to
you just
hurt.
don't know, do you?
Do you know what I mean? And, you know, it's like, yeah, I can hear a gun.
Where did you have your first one done?
Grot did it.
No, whereabouts on your body?
On my shoulder blade.
Right.
Yeah, on my back.
Right, you, Matt?
Mine was a start. Weirdly, because I started late, it was the start of a full back piece.
Oh, right, okay.
Which like a Polynesian style back
Right.
piece. But I have actually only got the outline at the top, and
Right.
since I'm trying to decide if I want to have it coloured in by someone else or if I want to just have something else on it, because I've
Right.
got more into the like colour stuff. There's actually I don't know if you two used to read these. You know the fighting fantasy books where it's like the choose your own adventure.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, there's one called it's either Robo Hunter or Dino Hunter. I always get them mixed up, but the front cover is a T-Rex fighting a robot.
Oh, that's cool.
I always thought, if
that's cool.
that might be a good back piece.
That's
And I know
would
someone who
suit
could
you,
do it
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm considering that, or I just go with a bit of like heavy black tribal kind of round the top, and then everything else I've got. But I've not got any black and white tattoos. They're all coloured. So
Yeah.
that's what I've
When was
gravitated
the last time
towards.
you got something?
Actually, I was just thinking about this because I need to speak to my tattooist because the idea is to have a Batman animated series leg sleeve on my right leg, and I need to speak to him because it's probably been a couple of years now. I'm trying to think. The last one was probably my poison bottle on my knee, and that was a Friday the 13th thing because he always does like Friday the 13th
Deals.
like deals. Yeah. He was complaining a bit because it was on my knee, but I'd like to make it difficult for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is I need to get started on my other leg sleeve because it's one of those things. It's kind of you almost forget about it and then think, it's been a while. Do with another one.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. It's like, you kind of like think, right, I'm getting the bug for it now. You know what I mean?
And that I think because let's be honest, it's expensive.
Oh, yes. Mine's money.
Yeah, if it's good,
Yeah.
it's expensive
Yeah.
anyway, and it should be expensive. It should be reassuringly expensive because it's we're all going to know someone who's come to us, showed us a tattoo, and said, "Oh yeah, look at that! It was only £20 an hour." And you're looking at it thinking, "Yeah, it looks about worth it."
Yeah.
So he's like, you have to spend the money because it is reassuringly expensive because it's on you for the rest of your life. Cheap tattoos are never going to be good.
No.
That's it. I mean, do you tattoo yourself?
Yeah, it hurts. I've got a skull on the inside of my leg to finish, and I take the piss out of my missus for not getting the rest of her leg done, and then she says, "Why don't you tattoo yourself?" I'm like, "No, it hurts."
Yeah.
I mean, when you've got a bit of a gut, you've got to like hoof the gut out of the way, like crunch yourself over, stretch the skin, and stab a needle in you.
A lot.
A lot.
Well, it's like, because I suppose there's only so many bits
like-
of yourself you can tattoo,
Yeah.
isn't there? Because you've got to be able to stretch the skin and do it. So you can't do your arms.
Yeah, no. I mean, although I've tattooed someone that's managed to tattoo their arm, and how they've managed it is beyond me. And
Yeah.
to be honest, they've actually done a fairly decent job. Well, I'm like, wow. Like, and he's like, yeah. So the wife was holding his skin for him
Oh, right.
whilst he's like tattooing the back of his forearm. I'm like, that's incredible.
The back.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't, yeah.
Yeah, and then I know a couple of friends that taught themselves to tattoo and they've tattooed the back of their legs. I'm like, how? It's like
How
you
the
can't
shit do you do
coffee
that?
table, like leg on coffee table, like literally stand up, foot on the coffee table, like you stood like that, looking down, like kind of correct out. I'm like, no, I don't know how.
Jesus Christ.
Like fucking hell, you how to put your body in all sorts of shapes and things.
Yeah. I'm no way near that flexible, mate.
No.
Cramp central right there.
I think obviously when you're getting tattooed as well, I like the experience of going in the studio. Like
Frame of mind, innit?
yeah,
Frame of mind. Like we spoke about last with Steph and Logie, it was like,
Yeah.
it's like to getting tattooed in your house versus getting tattooed in the studio. It's like,
although there are customers, when I first started learning to tattoo before I worked in a studio, like I tattooed people in the house. Well, I had my own studio. Everyone was always surprised though. They'd walk in, because obviously you go through someone's house, it's carpet and that, and then I'd open the door and they're like, fucking hell, like, and I'm like, why, what's up? And they're like, it smells like a studio. I'm like, well, it is. Like, wooden floor, everything's wipeable.
Yeah.
Like, hygiene is the most important part of it.
Yeah, you're not a scratcher. You actually
No,
got a
no,
home
absolutely.
studio, yeah.
You know, I'm like, obviously at the time I wasn't a registered studio, but everything I used come from Killer Ink or Jungle Tattoo Supplies, registered supplies. None of it was off eBay. I'm using Dynamic Black, which is effectively the leading black in the world. You know, it's
Well, I
like...
mean, you're ripping fucking massive whims into people, really,
Yeah.
aren't you? Do you know what I mean? It can't be
Yeah.
like doing it in a dirty shithole.
No,
And
you've
if
got to
you
do it
know
right.
you're going to go and get it done in a dirty shithole, then you know, and it goes badly wrong, then you know who's going to have sympathy for you?
Yeah, you've only got yourself to blame. But yeah, I do like going into the studio because it's like the two studios I use now. I end up just chatting with the artist
Yeah.
for the entire time because Zach will go and see Leopard Lounge in Cottingham near me. We're into a lot of the same sort of stuff, so we'll have music on in the background. But
Yeah.
I've never been one of those who wants to just put my earphones on. I want to talk to these people
Yeah.
because they're interesting people.
Yeah,
Especially if you find someone you get on with as well, because you've never got
No.
nothing to speak about. And it helps as well because you're taking your mind off the
Yeah.
fact that they're like
Jabbing the
stabbing you
fuck
lots.
out of you, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, like we spoke about last time with Steph and Logan, like the people you get to meet and like how you can help them through parts of their life. You know, when I interviewed Steph and Logan on my own podcast, like we were on about, unfortunately, some people struggle with mental, you know, they're struggling mentally or whatever, and they self-harm. So they go through such a horrible period of their life, and then they're at the stage where they've rebuilt their life, and unfortunately they're continuously reminded about that stage of their life. And there are tattooists out there that are literally able to cover them and help them through that, and that's incredible. You know,
Yeah,
being able to
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
being able to
yeah.
do that for somebody, you know. And you know, I've not done it, but when I was at Unique Ink in York, you know, there was a girl come in and her arm was really bad, and it's like you think it's such a shame that she was in that place in her life. But Jordan, who works there, incredible artist, I'm sure he did it, and he was able to help her move on in life. You know, I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
I assume that's more difficult as well because it's over scars.
Yeah,
and
tattooing
shit,
over a
isn't it?
scar. Yeah. It's the skin is a bit more tough, and then equally doesn't take as much trauma. You know,
Right.
so it's tougher to tattoo. Off my own experience, there are artists out there that are probably thinking, "What the fuck's he on about?" But my own experience was I found it harder to get the ink in.
Well, it's like stretch marks as well, isn't it? They're quite hard to tattoo over.
Yeah.
as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and then you know, very quickly you could irritate the skin very quick compared to normal healthy skin. So
Yeah. So I mean, we've got our sponsors. We had a bit of a natter then, didn't we? Oh yeah, 7-Up.
7-Up, get at us, brah.
And also, while we're here, Dixon, we're still waiting for a reply. You know.
Yeah, we're going to soundbite this and send it to you.
Yeah.
Have you made any
Look,
progress?
Look, he's a massive fan, guys. Come on,
I have. Yeah.
he's your boy.
The logo
I've
is
got loads
underneath
of
the
them.
bid. He's
The logo
not
is
chatting
underneath
shit.
the bid. Well,
It is there.
This is actually the Caballero one, so there is Dixon logo as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you're watching, unlikely I know.
No,
but
you will be.
we would
Send it to you.
love.
We're gonna
Yeah,
bomb you.
we're
Yeah.
gonna send it to you.
Not
Not literally. We're gonna.
yeah.
Whoops.
No, we've got banned early.
Oh, no, my phone's just
We would
turned.
love to have you sponsor us. My dream is to one day see a KKBO Dixon shirt
That'd be
in the
cool, wouldn't
colours of like I would love that.
Yeah, that would be
I
pretty
kind of feel like, you know what, we'll stop doing the show.
But have you made any progress with Dixon?
I haven't actually. It's I have unfortunately been fixated on other things, but I
Yeah.
am going to start kind of messaging.
I mean,
know you
Danny's
sent a few, haven't you?
actually seen my messages because it says
Oh,
seen,
yeah.
and he'll put like a thumbs up to it, but won't reply. I'm like, when you coming on my podcast, man? I'm like, when's it? You know, because he. Do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't actually. It's
He's such
Yeah.
an inspiring guy because like you can tell, like he's an open canvas. Like he puts a lot of stuff on his storyline, and he goes on about like, you know, he's massively lost a load of weight recently, and he talks about like positive mindset and inspiration, and he's obviously, again, like a lot of us, had a bit of a dark past at some point or whatever he's gone through, but it's inspiring. I'm like, look, I just want to get you on the podcast and hear that story. You know,
Yeah,
and then
butter him up for a sponsorship
Yeah.
with Matt.
yeah, and then say,
yeah.
look, Matt's your biggest fan.
yeah.
I can't afford the shirts. They're great. I just can't afford them.
I can't tell you how many I've got because Sean watches this, so she'll know then.
Only 2.
yeah, I've tried that.
So we've got Matchbook Custom for all of your Harley needs. There you guys. You've got Welcome, which you'll hear adverts throughout the podcast from, but we'd just like to say a thank you off the top. And I think Craig's going to be coming on the podcast next month from Welcome, which will be cool. And he's also got his own little podcast going. I think it's the Specky Painter podcast.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. And then we've got Gnarly Magazine as well. Black Sheep Customs and Danger Sign, obviously, and 666 Customs. Check them out. There'll be links and stuff, and just help them out. Get involved with Gnarly Magazine on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, and check them out because they post tons of cool shit all the time.
And I like the fact that they're being honest about the issues that we have as content creators, of the meta issues that we seem to talk about a lot on phone calls, and they're having them issues as well, don't they? They say, look, please tag us in it, because unfortunately we can't repost it or something.
Well, Nick got us banned, not intentionally. So I tried putting an advert up, and it wasn't a dick.
There wasn't a dick.
He's improving then.
Yeah. So I'd put it as basically the lowbrow. There's no life like the low life.
Yeah.
Art show, and it says, and it's like, because it says low life. Basically, the advert got rejected, and I ended up having to sign a anti-discrimination policy, because it looked like I was being discriminatory because it says low life in it.
Right.
So the AI or whatever they use must have picked it up and said, you can't use that. You've used offensive language. It's like,
what a load of shit.
This is the problem, though.
That's the problem with it being. Well,
it's all
they call it
strokes,
AI. Let's be honest, it's not AI because it's not intelligent.
No.
But a person would have looked at that and gone, I can see what the words say, but it's plainly not that.
No.
So it's just the words flagging up. It's.
Yeah. This is the problem.
Yeah.
It's all broad strokes.
Yeah, unfortunately,
You know what I mean?
yeah, and I get the fact that obviously they can't have a team of people actually looking at stuff because it's just not feasible. But yeah, so unfortunately, stuff's going to kind of slip through.
You say, but they can though. They just don't want to because it's profit. At the end of the day, they're taking away real human jobs, supermarkets, all the shit they're doing. They're introducing robots. Well, if you're going to do these people still live. They're still alive. They still need to feed their families. Give them a laptop or give them a job that their job is to scan that. So it's and that's like I said. I was saying to you the other week. I can't wait to get my website done because I know a lot of people have had enough of this shit.
Yeah, you're tied to it. Yeah. If you want to, what did people do before? Because we were saying, it was just basically, handing out flyers, word of mouth and stuff. What did they do?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, you lose it now. If Facebook got taken away, how many festivals would go down the shitter that, we all depend on it so much. It's almost like, it's almost a bit worrying sometimes.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. The world's almost got bigger for us because you can talk to people and communicate with people in America or anywhere, kind of Malaysia, wherever you can think of. But the world's almost kind of got smaller as well, because it's now all on a screen rather than kind of going out. And it's a weird thing. It's kind of good and bad. But now, you have to have a social media presence, really. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are still some companies that work well off word of mouth. But a lot of that word of mouth is still going to be online. It's not going to be just people... A very small percentage of it will be people talking face-to-face. Oh, by the way, I know this person.
Yeah, you made a very good point there. It's like, as big as the community is, it's shrunk as well in one respect.
It's strange.
And as well, I think what hurts a lot of stuff at the moment is people's lack of expendable income.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that doesn't help at all.
Yeah, Meta's become a pay-to-play platform.
Yeah.
I no doubt we probably asked you this before, Matt, but do you benefit a lot? Are customers coming through social media, or is yours still very much word of mouth?
That was what made me think that it is word of mouth, but most of it is on social media. It's basically I'll see it'll come up, someone said, I need some sign writing done on my van, have you got any recommendations? And it's amazing to see, it's humbling to see that if it's up in my area, there'll be 10 replies and it'll all be me.
Well, that's great.
And it is fantastic. And I still can't quite get over that. I had to pinch myself to think that that's where I've come in kind of 8 years.
Yeah.
So it is word of mouth, but it is technically social media.
If someone said, do you know anyone that can do me some lettering?
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it. It's so nice to see, and it is opening a lot of doors. Like that Fiat Panda I did last year.
Yeah,
was that was a recommendation from someone who I'm now going to be doing his. It's Alex from Driver's Collection. I'm going to be doing his Porsche 912 because he wants that done like as if there was a Japanese race series that ran Porsches, like cool. Vintage Porsches. Right, so it's really cool to get involved with people like that because they're all the proper petrol heads. But yeah, you do get a word of mouth. I mean, it's very rarely I think it's people speaking to each other directly because it's just the world we're in now. Yeah. It doesn't really work like that. But yeah, it's word of mouth, just digital word of mouth, I suppose.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool people on the Facebook. I mean, last year, we had I must have sent about 15 different care packages full of flyers out to people. Yeah, and they were handing them out for us. Which was really cool. Which is if you're out there and you want me to send you some flyers because you've got somewhere to dish them out, just hit me up and I'll quite happily send you a wad of flyers to hand out. It's a massive help.
Have you already got them printed?
They're coming in a couple of days.
I mean, that side of it is really good. Yeah, it's I did that video and I said I wanted a tiki head shifter for the caddy. Yeah, and within minutes, Nick had said, "I'll do you one." Andy at Kooky Tiki said he'd do me one. So it's a bit of an experiment. Never done it before, but I'll have a go. Yeah, and obviously I made the request hoping someone would say that. Yeah. But then you get two really kind of cool artists. Yeah. Weirdly, the lad that I actually called Reese, who I actually sold my 190 Merc to, which had a Tiki shifter in it, went on there and said, I've still got the old one out the Merc. Do you want it back? So it just shows you the power of social media, because I didn't even know he was still following me. Because this was, it was before I got it was when I got the Cube, because I was in Prague, managed to sell the Merc 190 online to this Reese and buy the Cube while I was still in Prague, and got back, went, got a new car.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I think where obviously, especially Instagram and Facebook, i.e. Meta, that we're becoming slaves to it, especially obviously yours is different, but it isn't different, Matt, in the respect of yours is a platform to showcase what you're doing, and obviously you are getting customers in, but kind of mine and obviously the KKBO platform, you're effectively putting content out.
Yeah.
As in, you know what I mean? You're selling a product, whereas
I was more theoretical, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a lot more ideas based. You've got cool physical stuff. I mean, when you put a reel up, it always does well.
Yeah. The videos do well. I think is all the reels and the bits
that one
and
you
that
did
do.
when the Bluebird, when you were doing the drone.
Oh yeah.
And that got tons of likes.
It's mad. You never know.
Picked it up.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna work and what's gonna not. And it is a cool thing to see, because I must admit I've seen other people doing that and gone, that looks amazing. So I got the idea to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm still really low tech, because that was my mobile propped up against, I think, a paint tin. Right, and I've not got tripods or anything like that. I've got one of those kind of vlogging things with the ring light round there. But I can't quite figure out how to aim that properly.
Charm, mate.
I kind of feel like I don't want to go too mad on it, because it should be about the work.
No, I'm going to show you something, and I know you're not going to like it, but bear with me, guys, and it'll all become apparent in a sec.
Well, he's not undoing his trousers, so I think we're all right.
Yeah, we've made progress. But it's like Matt Armstrong's Mark II channel. That's all done on iPhones.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said for that, like the lo-fi. I know it's not lo-fi because it's a smartphone. It's got more computer power than Apollo 13.
Now that was ChatGPT. You don't like that, do you? And that is worrying right there, isn't it?
I'll admit it's a nice design,
but I think the scary part is that could be passed off. So for all you guys at home or wherever, this is obviously
we're not showing you it.
an AI generated flyer or ticket giveaway flyer, and the problem with it is it's not a bad design, and I think and I think
they are getting better.
Where are we going to be sitting in a couple of years time, because it's that wouldn't last year. That wouldn't have come out that good.
Oh no, she would have had 3 arms or something, but she wasn't supposed to have 3 arms. It's getting better and better. I think the problem there's always been with the art, especially, is basically your royalties. Is the fact that it mines artists' work
Yeah.
to make that. So there might be, say for the sake of argument, there's 150 artists that it's mined the images from, and it's made that. None of them get any kind of reparation for that or any kind of recognition, and that's the difference. Is the easy way to say it is AI art is theft, which it is true. Unfortunately, it's you want something made by a human. I mean, there's this blew up recently with Hideo Miyazaki, who runs Studio Ghibli, and you've probably seen all the Ghibli memes where you get a photo of you and a loved one, and it makes it like a Studio Ghibli anime.
Yeah.
And it led back to a quote from him, which granted wasn't about this actual craze, but it was when someone showed, because all Studio Ghibli films, I think I'm right in saying up to a point, were hand drawn. In the same way that Akira was fully hand-drawn. Like, there's no... Every single cell you see in that animated film is hand-painted.
Right.
And that's because that's how they used to do it. And it's definitely got a look to it, you can tell. But he was shown a CGI video, basically, of a corpse dragging itself along. And it kind of... I think its legs were gone or something like that. So someone will correct me, please do. And he said it seemed that the way he put it across was say he knew someone who was disabled, and it seemed wrong. There was no human touch to it as such, and that's what makes art, is the human touch. And I think that's the issue with the whole AI thing. And I mean, we know it's not artificially intelligent because it can't think for itself. It's basically, it takes a load of images and spits something back out at you.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is people assume if you're against AI art that you're some Neanderthal who doesn't like progress. It's not about that. It's about... Well, I think... I don't know if it was the fellow who owns ChatGPT, but he actually was in court and said, we can't stop us... You can't stop us using images without any kind of... without ignoring copyright, because we won't have a business, and that's quite telling in itself. Is that... So you're admitting... You shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. It's such a thorny issue. I don't, it's not as easy as it's probably not as easy as I'm coming from it at it from my direction.
Yeah, that's why.
Which again is obviously I'm going to be biased.
I suppose on the other hand, and don't get me wrong, like I agree with what you're saying, but I suppose on the other hand, it would be like, well, Ed Roth took inspiration, ideas, took concepts, and that's kind of where the argument will be. Is that's pretty much what AI is doing.
That is exactly the argument.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
in the same way that I do stuff inspired by Ed Roth. I do my own version of it, but you try not to rip people off. I've had this conversation with someone before. I've done one rap thing in my life because even though I like doing Fink style art, and I love doing it. I mean, I've got tattoos of my own artwork that I've done. I feel like Rat Fink isn't my thing to do because it's someone else's design. It's specifically someone else's design, and you can actually become a proper Ed Roth accredited artist. I'm not entirely sure how you do that, but still,
I've seen some on Instagram that are like Ed Roth accredited artists.
Yeah, Eyeball Mike is. But yeah, I think it's someone else's image in the same way that something that kind of recognisable is never going to be yours.
No.
You can do your own version of it, and I think people would be fine with it. And I think also I'm speaking from a bit of a pedestal, the fact that what I do, it's unlikely it's going to be used in any kind of AI application. But there are artists where their work is being ripped off effectively. But it's such a thorny issue because how do you even police it?
I think it's a massive problem in a way of like, it's you're watering, it's a massive influx in the market. Freelancers are going to really suffer.
Yeah, because like you say, that image you just showed me is
it's passable.
It's passable, yeah. So a lot of people think, well, what, I can spend nothing and do this myself, or I can give, a couple £100 to someone to do a design for a flyer.
Yeah.
Which is, that's roughly what you're looking at from me. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, so yeah. There was still. And the way I'm lucky is that people are specifically paying for human art.
Yeah.
But the graphic design side of it, not so much.
No. Yeah, because you sell physical pieces.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you've and it takes your skill to paint them pieces. The stuff on there. But
and a lot of people might argue that, well, if I want to build a car, I'll fire a load of stuff in ChatGPT and it'll give me an idea of what I want to build.
Yeah.
and you kind of think, well, you can't really begrudge that because they're not trying to sell it or anything like that. But it's a bit like, do you remember the fellow who was trying to pass off what he said was his own artwork on the Custom Culture Blast Off chat group?
And you took him down.
And I
destroyed him.
Well, I went on a bit of a rant and then removed it. What he was doing was basically taking people's artwork, like he'd take like a Think character and roughly cut and paste it onto a car. None of the stuff was his. In some of them you could see someone else's signature, and they're always different. That's kind of what ChatGPT does, but it's a bit more seamless. But it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, it's not simple. I mean, this is one of these discussions that's going to go on forever, because and I think you've almost got an us and them thing of artists and people who will never be artists, and that's not. I'm not talking down to those people, but there's some people who can't draw or can't paint, something like that. Yeah. And for them,
like there's people that can't sing. There's people that can't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It makes it feel more accessible for them. But I think I would urge everyone to think, well, where's all this coming from?
Yeah.
Well, I think like what you're doing though, Matt, I think what's going to happen in the future, even let's say for example there is a machine out there that's going to be able to do what you do, but you suction cup it to the side of a car. What will happen is rich people don't want that. So do you know what I mean? Like people are always going to want, like, because it's bragging rights. Like people pay for bragging rights.
Yeah, people want like art.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So regardless of it, let's say there is a machine that you could, like, say, stick to the side of a car, lays down some cool design with a paintbrush. No one's going to say, "Oh, that's so cool, you had a machine do that." But they're going to go, "Oh, fucking hell, Matt did that. Danger Sign did that." You know, that just like Ed Wright. You know what I mean? It's like, it's regardless of how technology comes forward and progresses, and unfortunately does take out some of the freelance artists. I still think that if you're willing to put the hard work in, and work harder, just like tattooists have had to do, that you continue to elevate. You know, like you know what I mean. Like, it's okay. Yeah, there are like, but your bragging rights are all my designs are done by hand. Like, that's first bragging right. Second bragging right is I physically lay down stripes on the side of a car with my hand. Machine. You know what I mean. No one's ever gonna pick a machine over passion.
I guess it'd be like printing out. Yeah. Like it'd be like getting a pinstriping design and printing it out through a printer.
Yes.
Versus getting a sheet of paper and painting it on. Which one would you rather have?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like you can buy die-cut vinyl pinstripe designs, but whenever you see them, there'll always be someone that knows whoever's got them on the car who'll be giving them a bit of grief about it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that's not right. But
yeah.
But
then it kind of falls back to the same conversation we've had loads of times in the car. It's like, well, just because it ain't period correct parts, you know, it's like there is a balance, there is a place for everybody. Like, I would love nothing more than to have a really cool car and say, right, Matt, here's my car, go nuts, just give me the bill at the end of it. You know, it's not everyone can, you know, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean I don't have a right to be at the same show. You know,
no, absolutely not.
I think as long as you're honest.
No, I mean, we would never gatekeep about stuff like that. I think is, the only issue with the AI art is where it's coming from. Yeah. And I mean, there are other issues as well, and the fact that the servers are so kind of power hungry and stuff like that. But that goes into a whole different thing that there's no point discussing here, about the fact that our world is consuming energy at a rate that's not sustainable. But that's a different thing, and that'll get us into politics, and we don't do that. But yeah, it's basically the fact that it's taking art from artists, if you like. There will hopefully be, like you say, people want something that's made by a human.
I think it's going to become more of a prestigious thing. I think it's going to become more of a. I think it's going to. I can see it. Let's say you're still, you know, you're probably still going to be doing this in 20 years' time, for example. I think that you're going to be charging an unimaginable amount more, because that's where the rate is. Like, I think it's going to become so much more of a like Rolls Royce is still laying down hand stripes on brand new Phantoms. You know, is it
pushing it out of younger people's hands because they've got it right there and they don't need to learn how?
I think in some cases it might be. I think you're possibly going to see. I mean, until it rights itself again, I think you are going to see some people who would want to be artists thinking, well, what's the point if I can put this into there? But that said, artists are passionate about what they do. So the fact is, if you want, some artists have to create. So maybe it's something about nothing, and I'm being over the top about it, and people will still go, no, I have to create, I have to do these things.
I don't think the art world has ever been challenged, because it's always been like, you have an idea, or you see a picture, or you have something in your mind, and you put that to whatever medium, whether it be the side of a cave or a canvas.
I don't think it ever can be challenged, because I think as corny as
it is kind of being
but
challenged.
but I mean, I think realistically, like, as corny as it sounds, it's like art literally is whatever you perceive it to be, and I think that's what's so beautiful about it.
Yeah, well,
like,
it's like a lot of
you know
modern
what I
art
mean?
is that people will say, oh, modern art is rubbish, but that's kind of in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly.
I mean, some dickhead rolling around on a bit of paper covered in paint.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of...
some of it is craziness.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of modern art, I would say, it's not necessarily about the art itself, it's about the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And if you're into that, and if fair play to you, I mean, I like to see more kind of... Skill, maybe. I mean, yeah, I suppose so, yeah. It's a weird thing. It's so subjective. Art is that someone.
That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's different things to everyone.
Yeah. No, it is interesting, and it's interesting to see how it's going to pan out, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it. And, I mean, we've never used AI generated art.
No.
Do you know what I mean? We've always, it's like we've got Sheriff's Dirty making us the limited. T-shirt design this year, which I'll show you.
Oh, cool!
It's really cool, and he's a really, and this is the thing. It's like, that's all cool and all, that thing that I showed you, but it's very basic. The thing like Sheriff's Dirty's design for the T-shirt, it's like swirls, and there's creatures in it, and it's very intricate, and it's like, and it's all from his own mind, and it's like that couldn't be generated. I don't feel like, because it's like that's coming from. I guess that's another good point, really, isn't it? It's like, it's like the AI is, you're putting in prompts to prompt it to do stuff, which means you're laying out a baseline of what you want to see. But it's like, art doesn't always come from that, does it? A lot of the time it can come from, deep down in your soul, I guess, as corny as that sounds. But yeah, we are going to go to our first ad break, and we'll go have a quick drink. We'll see you soon.
Is your Harley Davidson feeling a little stock? Like it's rolling down the road with training wheels? Does it lack that growl, that rumble, that oomph? Well, at Matchbook Custom, we've got the cure for your motorcycle's midlife crisis. Whether it's performance upgrades, custom builds, or making it look like it can bench press your neighbor's car, we do it all. Because let's face it, a stock Harley is like showing up to a biker rally on a scooter. We're the Harley specialist just outside Stamford, UK. Ready to give your bike the balls it's been begging for. Custom parts, slick gear, and upgrades so hot, your bike will practically start dating a Ducati. So don't let your ride limp along. Bring it to Matchbook Custom, where stock bikes go to grow a pair. Visit us at www.mbc.style. Yeah, that's right, we're so cool even our website's got style. Or email us at matchbookcustom@gmail.com. Side effects of visiting Matchbook Custom may include excessive horsepower, spontaneous wheelies, and your neighbors wondering why their bikes suddenly feel inadequate. Matchbook Custom, where Harleys get jacked and stock bikes cry in the corner.
There we go, welcome back. And that was a word from Matchbook Custom, the old legendary advert there. And they look like they've been stacked up.
Yeah.
There's a few weeks I've seen that it's just said Matt's not going to answer his mobile, he's too busy.
I love that. So he's so honest. He's just like, I'm not in tomorrow, or I'm not doing this, I'm not doing it. Like, fair play to you, mate. Like, you're in your own business. Why shouldn't you be like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
it must be difficult though, mustn't it? Because it's like if you run a business where kind of you have these social things, you've got to assume that people are just going to turn up throughout the week, and at the end of the day, you're busy, and you don't want to just turn them away, but you kind of have to.
Yeah, it is hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I can imagine it is, yeah.
You have to be like the entertainer and the worker at the same time, I guess.
Well, that's it. You've got stuff to do. I mean, it's not like me being on a stall at a show where I can talk to people while I'm working, and that's kind of what I have to do.
Yeah, you're not paying your rent off the back of it. You know
no, if I end up with the premises doing it all the time, people can't just be dropping around because you've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like we all think. I mean, I'm sure we've all thought about like, what it'd be like to have your own like hot rod shop, or you know what I mean. And it's like, I'm sure it's not as fun as it's cracked up to be.
I've worked in a couple of places like that, and you do. If people come round, unfortunately, everything kind of stops, and then you're on catch up. And the fact is, you're on the clock. You've got to be. If you're not building something, you're not paying your bills.
So whereabouts did you work doing that?
I worked at a couple of places in Hull and one near Scunthorpe, building old Volkswagens, basically, like doing the fab on the panels and stuff like that.
Fucking hell, man! I didn't know.
Yeah. It was good fun. There's not a lot of money in it. That's the problem. Is something like that?
Money in parts in there.
Yeah, you have to be either well known or willing to put in more hours. It's the thing is with Volkswagens and I think with all cars. I mean, I specifically work with Volkswagens. Is that people will come in and they've got so much to spend, and the problem is you either have to let them down gently and say that's not enough, or you have to try and do the work for what they have to spend, and that's not really sustainable either. It's If there's a shop down south called Old Bones Fabrication, and they're an amazing shop. They do like a lot of 50s pickups. They appear to be the kind of shop where they're so well known now that they'll get these big budget builds in, and they've obviously got the customers that have that kind of income. Because everyone dreams that if you want to build cars for a living, you want someone to come in and say, right, here's some money to get you going. I'll be paying you money every month, or here's half now, half later, something like that, and the budget is enough. But unfortunately, when you're building something like that, the budget's never going to be enough.
Well, I mean, as I can attest to, it's like the rust that you see isn't as bad as the rust that's there. Because the further in you go, the worse it's going to get. Like, you look at stuff at face value at first and you think, fenders, rockers, bit on the roof, and then it's like, you start taking filler off.
Yeah.
And you start going,
shit.
There's nothing worse than finding out a car you're working on has been basically put together by a filler artist. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. I genuinely worked on a T25 van, and it was before you could get the front corners for the cabs, and it looked absolutely fine. Once I got through 1.5 inches deep of filler, it had been run into a lamppost or something. And that was before you could get those panels, so I had to hand fabricate it all. And that's the problem, is that if you give a quote to a customer, you've got to say, this is likely to change. I once, we agreed a job for 1,500 quid, basically. I mean, that was, back then, was to do a down and dirty paint job, sort out some rot. We ended up 1,500 quid into it just doing one sill on one side, because it turned out as soon as we got into it, the fridge had leaked and took out the entire side of the van.
Fucking hell, yeah.
So we had to give it back to him and said, we've done the 1,500 quid's worth of work, I'm sorry, but that's, you're done, kind of thing, because it's either that or we need to get more money off you. So at least it was solid, but it wasn't painted like it should have been. And you've just got to be honest, and I think it's, with the best will in the world, you've kind of just got to give a really, really rough price and say, this is likely to change.
I think, if you're going to go into the world of like classic cars or whatever, I think you need to sort of like at least be willing to learn.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like, all right, you might not know anything when you first get involved in that sort of thing, but at least sort of like, use YouTube and, get a welder and stitch some metal together and just see if you can. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, get your settings dialed in and you can use a mic.
Yeah, I mean, your average kind of like hobby MIG plan is quite easy to pick up, and the thing is, it also learning a bit means you're not going to get done over by some shady body shop or something like that. At least if they turn around and say, oh, you need this, this and this, you can go, well,
especially when you're going in there and you don't know yourself what's exactly wrong with it. You are primed, pants down, bent over the table, aren't you, really, walking in there, and it's up to them whether they...
And unfortunately, they are out there. They're still out there as well.
There's tons of shit and fabricators out there that will rinse you. Tons of them are. And the worst of it is as people get less and less money and these places become more and more desperate for the cash, it becomes more and more enticing to fucking add jobs on.
I mean? And it's always going to mean more. I mean, how much is... When you see Hank on the road, all flaked up, lowered a bit, how much is it going to mean to you thinking, I built that entire thing?
Oh man, 100%.
Like, all I've done is put it out for paint or something like that. It's like, or all I've done is put it out for upholstery, and to think that I've done everything on that.
Yeah, it is going to be rewarding.
Oh, of course.
And even though it's probably not going to be as like, I haven't got a spray booth for starters, so it is what it is. But it's like to even just be able to say I've done it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is nice. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling of satisfaction in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It's good to have a project. You know what I mean? And I think that's custom culture as a whole, I mean, it is basically just like we're all a bunch of people that have a bunch of projects, aren't we, really?
Yeah, we're all just people who want to have a go, and there's a big resurgence in the idea of, I think it was David Freiberger, when he was on Roadkill, he now does his own thing, used to say, don't get it right, get it running. And there's a lot of satisfaction can be had of just getting something on the road, rough, MOT'd, insured, but rough, and having fun with it. And then realising that maybe you don't need like the high-cost paint job. Maybe you just need to have something interesting that you can enjoy. And
then you don't want to park it anywhere anyway. You know, pull up at Asda, you don't want to park a $3,000 paint job.
Something else. I'm turning that into something else that it's got its pros and its cons, because it's like, as good as it's going to look, I'm going to be a lot more nervous about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get past that fear, is that if you build like something that means a lot to you and is really, really nice and shiny and straight, you've got to be thinking, oh, what if someone dings it? A friend of mine, Graham, has had exactly this thing. He's built a 53 right-hand drive oval, and it's pristine, it's beautiful. He's done every single bit of that car, apart from the someone made him seat covers, which he's then installed himself, but everything else, the mechanics, the engine, the paint, it's all him. And he's still getting to the point where he's taking it on longer journeys and using it because it's so nice. He's worried about it, but now he's getting a bit more into the groove and thinking, oh yeah, you know what, I do want to use it, and you know I can spray, so it's not the end of the world if it does get dinged or something like that. But there's something to be said for kind of,
I mean, me and my dad we did the brakes on this Mercedes A-Class, and we'd spent ages on them because they were a bitch, and we literally took it out for its maiden voyage, and some woman with disabled controls, she just had them fitted, and she'd messed the buttons up or something, and like jammed the throttle on, and she'd like smashed into us and like driven up the back of the car. So it was like, and the car got written off.
Wow.
And it's like, and I think Gas Monkey as well, like they'd done a rebuild on like a Mustang or something.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, that was one of the early ones,
completely totaled up, didn't it?
And the driver was uninsured that hit him as well, wasn't it?
That was it, yeah. And Richard was fucking pissed when he was going to die, but I mean, he just lost all that money, you know. And that, you know, they're the sort of things that pop into your mind, because, you know, you're always worst case scenario, aren't you?
Yeah, the thing is, with a custom build as well, is you can take as many photos and have as much agreed valuation as you like. You're never going to get back what you put into it.
Of course not.
Because insurance companies aren't going to understand that. They're not going to understand that sitting there is your blood, sweat and tears. Like,
because it was rusty, and now it's not.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I mean, they'll just see it as it is what it is.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. I got off for 450 quid for my ZX10.
That still hurts, doesn't it?
I was just like...
Did he even say, like, I'm not wanting to, like, offend you or anything?
Well, yeah, to be fair, he was like, you know, how much you wanted for it, being that it hasn't got an MOT and it needs a few bits doing to it. I was like, well, make me an offer. And he was like, well, you know, I said, look, just make me an offer, 450 quid. It's like the trade price. It's like £200 just in lacquer alone in the tank. I'm like, fucking hell.
Throwing a BF at him.
Mate, I was like, look, I respect your offer, but unfortunately, no. 450 quid.
You might as well have just like hawk turd in your face.
He might as well have just said, look, it's a bag of shit, I don't want it. Like, you know.
You're like, can I have it for that?
Fucking
I suppose you got to have a go, ain't you?
Yeah, you got to have a go, ain't you?
That's the joys of selling online, though, isn't it? It's like Facebook Marketplace.
I've been
is this available?
In my time.
Well, yeah, you've got to try, yeah. But it's the whole kind of the
I was trying to swap my Harley for a Plymouth Gasser.
Nice.
And he was close, but he was like, I don't need any more. He was like, I don't need any more bikes. He was like, I don't really need any more projects and stuff. And it's like, you bastard.
I do like a Gasser.
I love Gassers. They're such cool shapes, aren't they? You barely see any around, do you, really?
Yeah, well, I imagine they must be quite difficult to get through an MOT if you're going to MOT them. Because I know a lot of them are so old. Well, they're probably nearly all so old that you don't need one. But there's a lot on it that is probably not really MOT friendly.
Yeah.
It's like Frankenstein. I've done a load of work on. It's got no front bumper, no grille. So basically, if you hit someone, they're going straight through the fan. It's like, basically, there's going to be bits of them all over the engine bay, and you can only imagine, because it's so high up as well. I mean, you can go under that no problem.
It's got a Widowmaker on it, does it?
Oh yeah, it's. Oh, I think it's. I think actually saying that it's an alley rad, and it might have a push fan on it. But still, I mean, if it hits you, you're going in the engine bay. You're not going over it.
The fan on the truck yellow just so I stay away from it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was under there the other day, and my multimeter wire flapped off the fucking fan, and I was like,
Keep the beard to a controlled length whilst working on it.
Yeah, that'd be bad, wouldn't it?
Jesus.
I just set fire to mine. It's easier. Yeah, it's less.
Well, I was doing all the fuel system and taking all the fuel tank out, and I like fag in my mouth, like looked down, and I was like, no. Not today.
Yeah. This should have a
like,
big.
why am I such a dumbass? What the fuck am I even doing right now?
Should be a photo of what I'm doing with a red circle and a cross through it.
Yeah, I am on the poster. I am on the health and safety warning.
Well, it's like when you see the guys on like the old knuckleheads and that, and they run chain drive, the drive chain from the crank to the gearbox, and it's chain and open belt. Like,
have you seen the chain on that?
No, but I mean, like, have you seen like where they have the pegs like just near, and the chain's effectively running right next to their foot?
Yeah, I mean, when that starts slapping, it's right near your arse. Sorry, no one can see this, but I'm pointing to my chop right now. But what's that chain about? About 6 foot?
Oh yeah. I mean that'll
6 foot without a chain.
that'll put a hole in you, wouldn't it, if that came off?
Yeah, the fast limb removal tool.
Yeah.
You imagine how bad that'd be if that snapped.
That's why you don't wear baggy jeans, so you haven't got the big torn bit on the side.
I just thought I've got to be streamlined for when I run fast. Oh, fucking hell. So how's the budget back build off coming? Because it's I've been seeing a lot of progress pics.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of them that are still.
Yeah,
still
up. Yeah,
come on, you know who you are.
Josh,
you
around your house.
Fucking know who you are. No, we're doing all right, don't we? We've had obviously.
Well, I mean, vintage chop. I mean, so with the stationary engine. I mean, like, that frame. I mean, he's a good. He's really good fabricator.
Yeah, he's done a box section frame, and for that, and
yeah, so he's used box, which is another cool idea.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, a bit out.
Yeah, different. Yeah,
good for price as well.
Yeah, and then you've obviously got November Customs. They have put in a single-sided swing arm on the front of a Thundercat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool.
I won't say the boys because it's a husband and wife, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to get in trouble again.
But, no, and you've got.
You went to see Paul the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to see Paul. That podcast went terrible. My laptop shat the bed. But that XS400 he's got. Fucking hell, innit?
It was a hamster really tired inside.
Windows 98 still loading, wondering why my signal's not very good.
Does it still fucking make dial-up noises?
Shout through, get off the phone. But no, yeah, so he's got the XS400. He's in teardown stage. Tractor with the XJ550, he's in teardown stage.
4 months off.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is crazy, isn't it?
The Dead Deep, they've done a load of work very quickly, didn't they? They extended the frame, custom made a mudguard.
Yeah, they're really nice work as well. Really
work.
like nice, clean work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good craftsmanship.
And obviously we're waiting on...
Which is exactly what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that, like, bringing people's skills out, you know.
That's what we want, though.
How easy would it have been to go and buy a mudguard?
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, you know, and it's like, but how good does it look through making them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, so there is this, like I say, there's a couple of them that have just got to get the photos sent out and we can get them up. And but I think it's just cool, like, just getting it around the world. I mean, how cool is it? Like, you know, last week of July I've been sharing it in a story, you know, like Indian Larry Motorcycles have shared it in their storyline. It's like, you know, you just off a little concept, and we're effectively 3 of us just sat in a garage, but we're connected. I was saying to Matt in the car, like, between all of us, we're connected with some really incredible people that have, like, earned their stripes in this culture we're a part of, you know?
I think we really had to start again last year. I think, you know, we really were starting back from scratch.
I think we had to. It had to be different, didn't it? Because it had to be ours.
Either.
Yeah, we didn't have the contacts, and
Yeah.
it had to be ours. It couldn't be, oh, we've now got someone else's show. It had to be our version of it.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, now it's like, you know, we're getting this community of, like, people that are, like, you know, faces that people are probably starting to notice that are popping up all the time and stuff. And it's, you know, it's, I mean, Nick doing the no life like the low life. I mean, that's really exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And it's getting artists involved that they don't necessarily want a trade stall, but they want to be part of the show. Yeah. And I mean, you know, which is fair, because it's like, you know, not everyone's geared up for selling. They might not have loads of stock.
Yeah.
They might have a couple cool prints that they want to sell. So you're going to be able to look at the art and also, you know, buy some art while you're there.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the T-shirt design from Sheriff's Dirty, we're going to have a big print of that. and loads of, and some little prints to buy, like a limited number of them.
Yeah.
So I mean that sort of stuff's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
And it's obviously that's something new that was never at the show before.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a real highlight, the best of the best.
Yeah.
It might even be in the bar
Oh yeah.
because we're not using the bar this time because we've got the steampunk bar coming.
Right.
So the steampunk bar is going to be
Yeah.
set up near it, but obviously, like, you know, you'll just
Yeah.
go and get your stuff from there and then go sit around the fire or whatever
Right.
you do. The bar area itself, I'm thinking, you know, we might end up using it for that, which would be cool.
Yeah,
if
we
we can make it work. It's
Say
just,
you get,
you know,
yeah,
we need a fair bit of room because there's going to be a fair bit of stuff.
Hopefully, yeah.
You know, there's going to be, like, you know, a lot more art installations in the woods as well. I know we was talking to Adam Dust, you know, the guy that did the side of
yeah.
truck. You know, and he was on about doing some like cool stuff.
Oh, excellent.
But if
like
anyone's
his
got any
work.
ideas, or you know, like if you you know, when you're watching this, just like let us know.
Yeah.
Shoot us a message. You know.
Yeah, hit us
It's,
up, get into the comments and get involved.
Yeah.
That's why we do this, is to get everyone out there involved in what we're doing. Get
Yeah.
everyone as excited as we are about it.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next thing, which is the live KKBO podcast that we're going to be doing. So it's going to be live at the farm, and we're going to be having like, the first 30 people that comment that they want to come. And you'll be able to come on the site, get involved with the podcast. We'll be having a bit of beer and some food and bits and bobs, and we'll be having a laugh. We'll have the fire going, and we'll just have a bit of banter, and you know, it'll be it's looking quite
Just
good.
try and get any bands there, or at least a band. Obviously, we won't be there all day, I guess, but
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, might
we'll
be.
see if you're listening from Relentless Rockabilly. I reckon we can work something out.
That'd be quite cool to
almost like a mini show, isn't it?
If we go to music in between what we're doing, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, like the KKBO social. So I think it's something that, and it's been in my mind for a while, is to have like some little get-togethers, like very small, like limited amount of tickets, just to sort of catch up with people throughout the year and share ideas.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
what
I
I
like
mean?
the sound
And,
of that.
You know, because it's like, you know, bikers have rallies and you know, Wednesday nights, and car clubs have got their Sundays and their this and their that, and what the artists have and people like that. I mean, it's nice to have somewhere to collectively come to, and you know, people that are into this sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's a cool time of, you know, to just get together.
Yeah.
Every you know, throughout the summer. Obviously, it'd be a bit shit in winter.
Yeah, it might
but
be.
you know, while it's, you know, now we're getting into the later days and stuff, it'd be we can make a bit of a night of it, can't we?
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'll put some details up about that on the Facebook, and then if you want to come, drop us a message. Yeah, that'd be a good time.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we'll go to our next ad, and that'll be welcome.
Rev up your creativity with Wacom UK's cutting-edge tools, designed to revolutionize the way you approach custom painting. Our 360-degree light attachment is a game changer, providing unparalleled visibility for flawless results on every vehicle you paint. Say goodbye to missed spots and uneven coats, as Wacom UK empowers you to paint with confidence and precision. Trusted by industry leaders, our tools are crafted for creators who demand excellence in every project. Don't settle for ordinary when you can achieve extraordinary. Join the next wave of custom creators and experience the future of custom painting with Wacom UK. Revolutionize your craft. Elevate your artistry. Explore more at Wacom.uk and follow on Instagram at WacomUK. Wacom UK, setting new standards for custom vehicle painting.
Right, welcome back everyone, and that was an ad from Welcome. So for all your painting equipment needs, they are your guys, and you'll be able to hopefully see Craig on the next episode of the podcast when we have him in, and we can talk about, you know, how we got into Welcome, seeing it's an Italian company, easy for me to say. And yeah, we'll be able to rack his brain and all that good stuff, and you'll be able to actually probably hear about some cool up and coming products and stuff like that.
They do have some really nice spray guns.
Yeah, and just as I'm about to start spraying as well, so it's
Yeah.
a prime time to start dropping some big bills.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and some big hints.
Oh, yeah.
What I want for Christmas?
Right.
Got to test them, haven't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some of them guns for Christmas.
As recommended by Jake.
Well, Craig says we get like a 70% discount for us lot or something like that.
Well,
So
I'll be talking to him then.
yeah. So yeah, Yeah, so we were just talking about in the interim there. We were just talking about you getting rid of the pan bus.
Yeah,
Which is, kind of a bit shocking. It's a bit of a shame to see it go. Is it gonna be like a bit weird seeing it get driven away?
Oh, I'm gonna be gutted, man. I love that bus. And the thing is, I've touched every part of that bus underneath it. It might not look like much, but underneath it's tip top.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, unfortunately, it's entirely the wrong time to be selling because the bottom has fallen out the market.
Yeah.
Especially with Volkswagens.
Yeah.
It's now you're getting to the stage now with seeing kind of split screen projects going for reasonable money, and that's not happened in about a decade.
Yeah. I remember you saying.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the idea I've got the Caddy now. It's cheap to run and all that, and it's we're going to get a little caravan. Try and simplify a little bit, and it means I can have a project and not have to worry about the kind of the getting to shows kind of transport, because I'll have a reliable diesel van. I can get all my gear in, and we'll have a caravan. So if ever the van does go wrong in any way, I can use something else to tow the caravan, and we can do it that way. Because the thing is, as soon as I get my garage built, which is going to happen at some point, I want something in the corner just to mess around with, because that's what I do for fun. That's what I do to chill out, is kind of tinker with cars and that. And I've got this internal bucket list, and I've got to start working on it at some point.
Yeah, that's it. You got any ideas? Or
I want to build another Volksrod, because I had a Volksrod and I crashed it, and it was kind of, again, what we were talking about, not getting it right, getting it running. It was on the road, the roof was unchopped, I had plans to chop the roof, it was in a temporary paint job, and then I binned it. So
how did you bin it?
Stupidity. It was I was driving back. I used to work at near Barnaby Top, and I was driving back, and I just hooked up the heating. So I went like that to check it was working. Looked and went, oh wow, there's a corner there. Never going to make that. Tried anyway, and I was on cross plies, so they're predictable, but they do let go. So I sailed right into the ditch. Went over one of those, those big white painted boulders they used to stop wagons going. Yeah. Went over one of them, bent the floor pan on it.
Fucking hell.
I did some damage to that thing, and then kind of was in the ditch thinking, I've just done that.
That's just happened.
Yep. So there's unfinished business there, because I always want to build another one. But yeah, there's loads of stuff. I've always wanted a hot rod. I'd really like an MX-5. I've just got that thing. I know. I know Josh loves a hairdresser car, but yeah.
No, they do look.
Fuck off.
With the Fiat 500.
Fuck it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
There's so many things. I'd love an MGB GT. I've always fancied one of those.
would you do a hard top on the?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like to.
So you're going like full on like amateur drift vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Japanese cars anyway, and a mate of mine had one and say he wished he'd never got rid of it because it handled like you wouldn't believe, and I've known a few people who have had them. I mean, there's other JDM stuff I'd like, but unfortunately, I'm priced out of the market now.
I
It's
want
like
an old Jag.
I do like a Jag actually. That's it. There's so many cool things, and we're never going to own them all, are we?
Have you seen Steve's?
Yeah.
Steve from Black Sheep Customs. Have you seen his Jag?
He's got a Jag.
It's fucking well cool. It's on solid wheels as well, they're solid disc wheels.
All right.
That's cool as fuck. Yeah.
A couple of fellas I knew built an E-Type on a Beetle chassis.
Really?
Because they found this E-Type, and basically the old fella they bought it off, he'd had it blasted to bare metal, and then left it in a field and forgotten about it.
No.
So when they bought it, you could see through some of the panels. It was rough. Because the first thing people say, that should have been restored. There was no restoring this thing.
Yeah, it was possible.
So they had it just running half an inch off the ground on a Beetle pan, big Stinger exhaust pipe, mesh over the windows, and showed
cool
it at
shit.
Skeg Vegas, and it's an amazing looking thing. Same people who did the turbo Bentley on a Beetle pan, the IE pinstripes.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Air
a hell
Cool
of,
Addiction,
a hell of a thing, that did.
Oh, it was cool. It was really cool, because it was all really, really heavy rust.
I bet that really upset some people.
Yeah. There's always people, it's like the whole banger racing thing, and it's sad to see cars smashed up, but they're not doing it to minters. There's stuff that's just not economically repairable, or they've tried to sell it to be repaired and no one's bought it. So
that's it. I mean, a lot of these things aren't going out just like, they don't go for, they don't go out and buying them for like cost price.
No,
they're buying them at like low prices. The plan is to wreck them. Like, they obviously weren't like works of art when they got there, were they?
No, I mean they bodge them up and make them look pretty, but they're not solid in any way.
Yeah, that's it. No, I've never actually been banger racing before.
No, I've not actually. It's
I'd
something
love
I
to
keep
do
seeing
it.
coming up. Yeah, it's
I'd love to do
My
it.
old man used to do it.
Did he?
Yeah, he's done banger racing and grass track racing, like Mark 1, Mark 2 escort, Mark 3 escorts.
Right.
yeah,
it's-
the autocross style stuff.
Yeah.
Or like that kind of
his
interests
car
me.
looked
Yeah.
cool as fuck, like proper
Yeah.
like 80s style paint job on it. Like it was red and blue striping down the side with like a two-tone. The bottom of the car was like blue painted around the arch. It just looked really cool, like really like it's really cool.
Yeah. We don't really have anything like that round us, do we?
Well, there's track in the field. What's that next?
Next to us, well, it's
Yeah.
the auto grass, so it's like the little things with the massive spoilers on them.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Are they midget racers? Is that what they call them?
I'm
Or
not entirely sure. To be
Right.
fair. I mean, they sound like they're going for it. They
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
move.
right, normally running motorbike engines, isn't they?
Yeah, something like that. But I'd like to see like big, like lumpy American cars like fight their way around it.
no, like a
Lawnmower
hot rod
racing.
hayride? Yeah, lawnmower racing. Yeah.
Oh, I really want to have a go at the 12-hour endurance race.
Can we not set up like a lawnmower racing
Yeah,
track?
let's do it.
Put the farm.
Going through the woods.
Mario Kart style.
I'd be interested to know the logistics and what we'd have to do to actually put on something like this, because we'd need marshals and
No, you just don't
insurance.
tell anyone. And if,
Yeah,
Oh,
just
right, is
do
that
it.
what it
and
is?
then if
Yeah.
someone falls off, you're like, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Here's a bottle of Jack Daniels.
That door hit you. Just turn into like the abusive husband at the event. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Be
he walks
absolute
into the
carnage,
door.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Love it.
Bloody
It's
hell.
fucking mint on it.
Well, I mean, who knows what we're going to end up with the way we're going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could we could be adding anything on. The way it's going, I mean, like we seem to start the same last year with like a normal KKBO, and now
Yeah.
we've got tons of extra stuff.
Yeah.
Action packed.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I can't believe it's 4 months away. So in 4 months' time, we're all going to be like
in the field,
game time.
stressing out.
I know, yeah. I'm excited. It's so exciting, though, isn't it? It's
Yeah, well,
really
the thing is,
exciting.
I kind of think like we've checked off 2 of the major stresses, and there's other stuff that we've learnt from. So I think it's definitely going to be better. It's going to be better, like more well-oiled, I suppose, because there wasn't a lot wrong with it last year. There was just bits we knew we needed to work on, and I think we've squared away a lot of that anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it was the land and the sound engineering, like we spoke about a million times. But as well as that, like the quality of the bands.
Yeah.
Like not that they were bad quality before, but it's like we've really got some proper kicking bands this time. The tattoo area. So yeah, for the tattooists and stuff, we're basically going to be the area that you're going to be in is going to be a lot nicer. We're working on that area. So we're going to have the judges that are going to be doing the competitions. So we've got the competitions again, and there's going to be cash prizes for the competitions as well. I know you've got someone interested in coming from down your way, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got quite a few booked in there, so they're going to start coming out on the Facebook. But the thing is with the Facebook is like we get like low reach on stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, like if you guys do see it, please give it a like and a share or whatever. Get it back.
And it's free.
The
It's
thing
free
is,
to do.
a lot of people don't get to see stuff.
It lives and dies on that, doesn't it? It's free. I mean, we appreciate everything that, like any kind of share or comment or anything like that. Is all we're trying to do is get this out to anyone we can get it out to. So if you can help with it, please do. Yeah.
So what's been some highlights over the last? Because obviously we've been doing the podcast now for about 6 months, and obviously we've had the first one we did ourselves. It was a bit.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bit like this, wasn't it? That first initial. Was
Well, the highlight was the pigeon.
Oh, the pigeon
Episode 1.
attack. Yeah.
Yeah, the pigeon attack.
That should have been titled "The Attack of the Pigeon."
I know. Well, we were still. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't like doing it prim and proper then.
No.
We? Now it's like sexy wet mouth.
Yeah,
and all
sexy
sorts of
wet
stuff.
mouth. That was the last one. I think it's been. I think first of all that all 3 of us have jobs and other things going on that we've actually been able to actually not miss a month.
Yeah, that's been.
And obviously Matt's season's getting flat out with shows that he's doing, and we're still able to do it.
Yeah.
And what we had now, 2 different locations, 3 locations so far.
Yeah, 3 locations so far with the live one coming up as well.
Yeah, and that'll be a 4th location.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so
it's going to be fun, like doing the actual the actual show special. So like, you know, doing the actual special episode that will come out after the fact. Do you know what I mean? That'd be really cool because you know it'll be, you know, it won't be all like visual stuff. We'll probably do something separate where you know we have all the highlights of the show visually, and you know, and a lot of interviews while we're there.
Yeah.
There is going to be an interview coming with me and Bex from the airbrushing forum, and that'll be out probably in the next couple of weeks. She's at the Skeggy Scooter Rally.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to catch her there and do a quick interview. So that'd be cool to get an idea from the airbrushers and stuff, and a bit of an interview with them and stuff like that. So yeah, there's tons of stuff coming up, and you know, with the KKBO, get your tickets. They will be a little bit more expensive on the gate, so get them bought now. There's not going to be drastic or anything, but you know, you will save yourself a couple quid if you get them pre-sale. Obviously, we have to pay people to man the admin and stuff like that, and so it makes it easier if you get them pre-bought. If you're in a club, reach out. We'll get you booked in. We do really good club deals, almost at half price for clubs. So it's really in your best interest to come as a club, and that just extends to all clubs, whether you're on push bikes. Because I know that there was quite a lot of like custom push bikes and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah, well, weirdly enough, I was talking to someone who was a big part of that at the at KKBO before we got hold of it. So I'm going to try and talk him into that because he's still got a lot of the lowrider bikes. So
cool
we're going to
shit.
say
yeah,
that.
they're well cool.
Have you ever had one?
No, I had the
Stingray.
the Tomahawk. Tomahawk. It's the baby chopper. Yeah,
Oh,
Tomahawk. Yeah,
Oh,
literally
right.
same company that made the iconic chopper. I had the Tomahawk, which was the sister version,
Right.
without the lever in the middle for the gears.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's the same brand that made it, so I had that.
When I was a little shit, I used to ride around on that, and for some reason, I'd picked up someone's for sale sign and I'd thrown it at their garden. So, and I got identified they identified me to the police as the fat kid on the purple chopper riding away, like, I don't know what made me think I was like inconspicuous enough to just like, I don't know why I did it in the first place, to be honest, you know, stupid kids and stuff, but yeah, the fat kid on the purple chopper, and the cheeky bastards even said that to me. I was like, oh, my confidence.
Fat shaming.
Mate, they do that nowadays. They'd be fucking. They'd be themselves.
Yeah,
You know what I
the
mean?
old, like I say, you even put this out. When they go, where's the next episode? We're all being arrested because we mentioned the word fat on social media. The old bill turn up. You can't say that. Fucking hell, you old pensioner getting arrested for some shit they put on Facebook. It's like
Mate, if they could hear you off air.
Oh fucking hell. Well, I
you'd
did.
be in the gulag.
Well, it's like I
mate.
did the podcast with the Low Life podcast, and they have a really successful podcast over in America. The guy's based up on the border, you know, New Manchester.
Oh,
I think border of Canada, and they actually said in the podcast, he said, "Can we actually say things?" And I was like, well, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, you guys are arresting people. Like, it's out there. Like, the world know that the UK police are arresting people for saying hate speech or whatever on social media."
Yeah, it's pretty.
So it's not just us talking about it in the UK. It's like they genuinely asked me, "Are we going to get in trouble for some of the things that we talk about?"
Wow, damn.
It's like, how fucking embarrassing is that?
Well, we have. Yeah.
How embarrassing is that?
Well, it's crazy times. So you know, when it's crazy times, you know, people are trying to look for something that they can escape from. And honestly, like with, you know, not just tooting our own horn, but the show is packed full. Like we've got the main show, you've got all the traders, you've got live music, a bar, food, cars and bikes, you've got the bike show, you've got an art gallery, you've got the woods to enjoy. There's probably going to be the axe throwing coming. So, you know, it's there's always something, you know, because we know that, you know, once you've gone around the traders and stuff, we're trying to give you as much value for your money as possible, and we really do fully believe that we offer like one of the most packed full shows out there in terms of like a broad range of stuff.
Yeah, and we're quite unique in what we do as well. So
the setting's unique.
Yeah,
the whole show's unique. You know what I mean? You won't find anything else like it. That's for damn sure.
No.
You know, especially with the tattoos, and then we've got the wrestling. on the Sunday. So by the time, that's looking cool.
Is that still you two?
El Macho. what was your Spanish name? What was it?
Oh fucking hell! I can't.
It was something Chaos, wasn't it?
Senor Chaos.
Senor Chaos.
Yeah.
I want to see that now.
Senor
We've got your little
Chaos.
suit. Do you reckon we
Just
could?
makes me think
Fucking
of Cannonball Run.
A fucking Macho Libre fucking outfit. Senor Chaos. Bienvenidos a este sesión.
We should do the gumball in the truck.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice to see something interesting there rather than just like a sea of Porsches and Ferraris, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just people that did better at you than school.
Literally, we'll have to wear fucking denim dungarees and a fucking straw hat.
Yeah, we'll just be the trash. Well, actually, the Gumball Rally actually wanted to buy the truck originally to sell merch out of.
No way.
Yeah, they'd approach him, but they just didn't like the fact that the hood was green and the rest of it was blue.
Right.
You know. So yeah, that's enough to put you off.
There you go, problem solved. You can sell it to them when you're already fun with it.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's all one colour now.
It's 20 grand now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, easy.
Just because the KKBO have had it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that's because this body filling God's touched it, mate. That's oh, but, well, yeah, it's been really good to catch up, guys.
I think it's been good.
You know,
It's been good.
It's been a nice chill one.
Yeah, a bit of a different one this time around. Yeah, just
It's a nice
Chatting.
chill Sunday. It's nice and sunny outside.
Yeah.
And we've just been chilling, haven't we? You know, and it's still shooting around a lot of ideas about the custom culture, but everything's starting to get a lot more locked in now. Not tons of extra stuff, curveballs to be thrown. So just keep an eye out for the bands to be released. That's going to be coming soon. And obviously all the budget biker build off updates and all that good stuff.
yeah.
What have you guys got coming up? You got shows coming up?
I've got Cromford Car Nights coming up at the end of next month. That's quite a big one because it's a new one for me. It's with the Drivers Collection, so there's a lot of weird and wonderful stuff
Yeah, I
there.
remember you saying that.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool one. After that, I'm kind of into...
You're doing the
Yeah,
doing
June.
The mod nuts.
Yeah, I'll be doing Mod Nats, definitely. Wouldn't miss
That'll
that.
be next month, won't it?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's nice we're back into summer, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely...
Yeah, it
you
starts
know,
getting hectic now, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's dragging all the cars and the projects out now, and yeah, it's happy days. What about you, dude? What you got coming up?
Well, I was hoping to get down to the Bike Shed show in May. Potentially got a free ticket for that, but we'll see. Yeah, and obviously building. I think really try and focus on getting my shed done.
Yeah.
Getting the shed done. That'll become the new hub of what I'm trying to do. The podcast will be done in there. And start on the 125 project, which that's going to be fun. Document all that on YouTube, and still waiting for the website, and obviously loads of things. Just kind of working with what I've got available to me, really.
Yeah, yeah.
That there's a lot more to
Shed and
come.
stuff there, don't you?
Yeah.
So you're close now, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then so you're going to kit that out like a podcast studio as well.
Well, it's going to be everything. So it's going to be the workshop / podcast studio. So it's it'll be insulated.
Anything's a podcast studio if you put mics. in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the idea, is to obviously have the bike like sat basically on a workbench next to me. I'm gonna have a little homemade table thing with the bike on it, and turn it into a proper little mini garage / podcast studio.
I mean, I can get 3 people at the front of the truck. We should put some cameras up and we should just do a podcast while we're driving it.
Just a road trip.
Fucking mint, wasn't it?
Yeah, we could do the car karaoke, but it's just you two screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
The brakes aren't working!
I know.
Yeah, what's that smell? What's that sound? Is that supposed to do that?
That's just me.
Yeah. No, that's supposed to be on fire.
Well, the way where it's going to get the door shut welded, it's going down to our mate Shaggy, and it's down a massive hill.
Oh,
so I'm like,
fucking
oh my
hell.
god, the brakes.
Oh dear.
But
This
hey,
could be the last episode with Jake in it.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Fucking hell.
Awesome. Yeah, so yeah, keep an eye out, guys. Keep an eye out for all the updates and all that good stuff, and we will catch you in the next one.
And don't forget to buy your tickets from www.customcultureblastoff.co.uk.
Yeah, see, I would do the tags, but I forget to do the tags. So what I'll do is I'll just put them in.
Yeah.
No, don't. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. There might be tags, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, there might even be an overlay. Who knows? Last time we missed that out as well.
Over here. Nice one, guys. Well, you take it easy and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you later.
See ya.
You have been listening to the Custom Culture Blast Off podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and share it with your mates. Catch us next time for more stories from the custom scene, artist highlights, and behind the scenes look at everything that makes the KKBO so unforgettable. Keep it custom and catch you soon.